I was just having
Hello.
a nice conversation, Ben.
Yeah, Jordan was prattling on for a bit about
Uh,
balloons. I think I don't know.
Not just any old balloons, 99 Luftballons, or rather 99 Luftballons.
Well, yes, we're doing this. I've decided to pop back to this, and we'll do something a little different with it. These are ones made by players.
Oh my god. You can disappoint a real person as well as me.
I know. So, uh, now let's do my favorite map.
What, Sapienza?
No.
That is Victor Novikov.
Hmm. So, well, I think this is a kill everybody.
Any targets.
Oh no, it's not. Okay. Right. Is there any additional things I have to do? Optional. Okay.
Wow.
Uh,
Do one of the Russian ones.
the Russian ones.
Yeah, the ones with the writings in Russian. Or using a Cyrillic uh, thingy. Yeah.
Okay, fuck it.
Might as well. We're multiculturals here.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, speaking of multiculturalism, how much do you know about the town called Boston here in the UK?
It's a shithole.
It is a shithole, but you know what else do you know about it?
It voted very heavily. It was like the highest percentage of Leave vote during the
It was.
Brexit vote.
Um, do you know anything else about it?
No.
For a while, I don't know if it still is. For a while, it was the murder capital of the country.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what they announced about it this week?
It's not the murder capital of the country anymore.
Nope. I don't know about that. I've got a question mark over my head.
Yeah, he's quizzical.
Oh. Um, it's that they're going to be hosting a Pride event this year.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That'll go down.
Murder capital of a country.
That'll go
Pride
down like
event.
a storm.
But yeah, that's it.
Ah, crazy stuff. Um. So, one of my other topics,
Yep.
I sort of like to think. I say like to think. I think that when an actor dies, 9 times out of ten, the characters they play die, right?
If they weren't already dead.
Yeah. So for the example I go to is the Vicar of Dibley.
Okay.
You know, where I mean, we know Alice has died, but I sort of think that whenever one of those actors dies, the character dies.
Okay.
So for
Are you
example,
about to tell me that the only person left in the Vicar of Dibley is the vicar?
well, there's two left:
Oh, okay.
Geraldine the Vicar and Hugo
Yeah.
Horton.
Okay.
And it sort of makes me think of just how sad that situation is. And I've often thought this that Geraldine's still stuck in that village because she's never going to leave Hugo and all his kids, and everybody's dead. And Hugo's dad, whose name I've forgotten, um, it probably felt awful after she died because he was so mean to her. And it's like, what a horribly tragic scenario. And
Hmm.
it sort of made me think, what are other TV shows, movies, or books that are like that in a sense, where where the implications of what's happened since are really very sad.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, no, no. I'm just trying to think of any that I can that come to mind.
yeah. Uh, it's difficult, but It's just interesting because it's just them, and she'll never leave that village. She can't now. It's just very
Is
sad.
Hugo the one that was infatuated with?
Hugo was the one who married Alice and had all the kids. Like
He was like proper like really
yeah,
into it, wasn't
had like 16 kids. Yeah,
he? There was a period of time, very briefly, where I was nicknamed Hugo,
yeah. Why?
because apparently I appeared so very interested in my partner,
Which partner was that?
my current partner,
All right. Huh.
prior to us actually becoming a thing. Which reminds me, I worked out when that will be the longest relationship I'll have ever been in.
When?
Uh, it will be next Star Wars Day, like next year,
Mm,
4th of May 2026. It'll be the longest relationship I'll have been in.
huh.
Yeah, I've got a countdown on a spreadsheet at work.
Lovely.
Just one of them interesting little factoids, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th of May 2026. Well, that's free.
Yeah.
We briefly mentioned the Beatles last video because you said something about the Beatles being Nazis or whatever.
Yeah. There was probably some context to that. I can't remember.
Yeah, so Wolfenstein, which is the game I was playing,
Hmm.
has this thing where it does music, it redoes some music as if it had been created by German speakers because the Nazis won World War II.
Yeah.
Is the gist of it. The Beatles get mentioned as Die Käfer
Yeah.
because of the German words for the Beatles. But they could have been called Die Schuhe.
What?
Okay, so now, do you remember that quote? It's like, we could have been called the shoes.
All right.
Yeah, well, in German, that would have been Die Schuhe.
Right.
That's,
The joke for you linguists out there.
Yep. So cunning, wasn't it, that linguistic thing?
Yes.
So anyway, they've announced. I didn't know this, but they're making a bunch of Beatles movies.
Are they really?
They are. They're actually making some Beatles movies. Let me find the snip that I took of it. I can't remember now. I can't remember who's directing them, but it's someone I recognise the name of.
Mm.
It might be Sam Mendes or something.
Mm.
They're making 4 of them.
Mm.
Let me find a thing. Beatles movies. Oh, yeah, it's going to be Sam Mendes directing 4 Beatles movies, each told from the perspective of a different band member, scheduled for theatrical release from April 2028.
So okay. So is it just the story of the Beatles as seen by each of the Beatles?
I don't know. It just says 4 Beatles biopics, each told from each of their perspectives.
That's
I
all
don't
right.
I don't know anything more about it than that.
That's all right. Sort of works.
They announced the cast, which is how I. Oh, they're going to release all 4 films in close proximity, apparently.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and the families of John Lennon and George Harrison have granted full life story and music rights for the films, apparently. But no, they announced the actors
Yeah.
who playing these. I can think of 2 that I think you'll know.
Okay. Daniel Radcliffe.
No, but no one that you would think to name, but you will know them once you've heard their name. You'll be like, oh yeah, I know those people. So I'm going to tell you their names:
Okay.
Paul Mescal,
Yeah.
Barry Keoghan,
Okay.
Harris Dickinson,
Uh-huh.
Joseph Quinn.
Right.
Do you know any of those names?
No.
Okay, I thought
Well,
you might know would be
Barry.
Paul Mescal and Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, they ring a bell, but I couldn't necessarily point them out in a crowd.
Yeah, let me. No, I couldn't point any. Well, I mean, I could point out Barry Keoghan, but that's because he's got a very distinctive face.
Mm.
Paul Mescal was most recently big job was in Gladiator 2.
Mm.
I think that's the one that is put him on everyone's radar. But he's an Irish actor. We'll have a look what else he's done. Because I feel like I've seen something that he's been in. No, probably not, actually. No, I won't have done. Fair enough. You probably won't have.
No.
No. Okay, but fine. But Barry Keoghan, obviously, is someone that people are very familiar with. Because, again, very distinctive face, I would say, if I'm looking at him.
Yes, was he in Saltburn?
He was in Saltburn. That's probably the thing that really caught everyone's attention. I think he played the lead in that. But no, prior to that, he was in Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him in. Yeah, he was in Eternals, The Batman, but he was in a cameo, apparently. Saltburn, obviously. He did television in Top Boy and Chernobyl. And he was in the music video for Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter. That's probably because they were fucking at the time.
Right.
And then he cheated on her.
Oh,
This is a fucking ridiculous thing to do if you're dating. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing to do if you're dating anyone, right?
You shouldn't really
But if
cheat.
you're dating Sabrina Carpenter, what the fuck is going on if you're cheating? Because he is not the kind of guy who's got the face that you would think he could be pulling many people. And I say this as a man whose face does not help him pull many people, right? It's not malicious. He's not a good-looking man.
Is he?
He's not. He's not.
He's sort of attractive in that unconventional way. I thought he was sort of rugged, good-looking chap.
He's attractive in that he's probably got quite a bit of money, way.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I'll be doing it for him, for people. You already killed a guy. Why did you poison the thing?
You never know.
So yeah, we're going to be in the Beatles biopic, and I have to say, they don't look like they would be suitable for playing any of the Beatles.
You know who they should get?
Who?
Those 4 guys were in that Doctor Who episode.
No, they shouldn't.
Wigs and everything.
No, I did see someone suggest that they should have got the In-Betweeners guys.
Yeah.
And the thing where they did it, they did sort of vaguely look like the Beatles from a little clip that they'd done. But they were being very unkind to Ringo, as everyone always is.
Poor Ringo.
Yeah.
Luckiest man in show business, apart from George Lucas.
So yeah, that's the thing that they're doing. A bunch of Beatles movies.
Yeah. He's married to Barbara Bach, who was the Bond girl in The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
Ringo.
Well done, by the way, for doing the.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It wasn't very well done, but.
Well, I mean, you completed the level.
Okay, we just have to kill a priest.
In Sapienza, that's easy.
Yeah.
Read some good news as well this week.
Yeah.
I would say it's good news.
Okay.
It's about Marine Le Pen.
Oh yeah, she's been banned, isn't she?
But for 5 years,
Yeah.
for embezzling EU funds. Now I don't know an awful lot about Marine Le Pen's politics, but something makes me think she didn't want the French to be part of the EU.
Pretty right wing.
So it sort of amuses me that she would be embezzling their money.
Hmm.
Although, what better way to indicate that they're not necessarily doing their job properly in the EU than to be embezzling the money from the EU and for so long?
Mm.
Suppose in many ways it does sort of prove a point she may have been making if she does have the view I thought she had.
I suppose in a sense it does.
Yeah. Don't know how I feel about that now I thought about it. But yeah, I did make a note that she is French far right because, well, you know.
I don't think I've got
certain
any.
people.
I don't think I've got any topics left.
Maybe not. Oh. Well, I've only got two, and then that. Well, one's a big one.
Yeah.
One could be quite a big one, and
Oh.
a little.
Well, I've got two kind of. I've been playing a lot of Monopoly again recently. I bought a new Monopoly game, the Switch.
Another one.
Yeah, well, I got bored of the one I've got because it's only got 3 boards, right? And I like board variety. What?
Well, you're talking about boards because you got bored.
Yeah, and then I got a new
It's
one.
amusing to me.
I got a new one that boasted it was new and updated. It only has essentially the one board, and the new and updated features it has include the ability to roll the dice.
Oh, okay.
I.e., you can shake the controller to roll the dice, and you can.
Okay, how long were you jerking off a dice for then?
You can.
Ah, my God!
You
Oh wait, no,
can
he's Italian.
run around the board. I just think if you had the just add board variety and I'm fucking sold. When I was a kid, I had a Monopoly game on the Wii, and there was the cheese board, there was a sweet board, there was a Halloween board. I mean, the first one I got from the Switch has the monster board and the amusement park board, but it's not really a massive amount of variety.
No, I suppose it's not, is it?
Yeah.
There was a big event in the in Asia.
Remind me.
Well, there was a bit of an earthquake, wasn't there?
Oh yeah.
Which is not good news. From what
No.
I gather, quite a few people have died,
Yeah.
which is sad and unhappy.
Yes, it is.
Did you see any of the footage of it
I saw 2 people in a pool.
on top of a roof?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that footage as well. Or I've seen at least 2 different clips of that.
Yeah.
And one, fucking no chance would I be in that pool if I could help it.
Yeah.
Even without the earthquake.
Yeah.
But 2, if it wasn't for the context of there being an earthquake, it would have just looked like they had a wave machine.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is interesting to me that the water went side to side instead of lengthways. In both clips that we saw.
Okay.
Maybe there's a scientific reason why that happens. There probably is. But it caught my attention that just a thing I noticed. You notice things sometimes.
Yeah.
That was a well done mission. Well
Thank you. That was fucking text. That was genuinely fucking textbook.
Yeah. See, I acknowledge it when you do well.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do the silent.
Rare, but...
I think I'm gonna do the Silent Assassin ones on my own time. Honestly.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
There you go.
Just did one there though.
I say Silent Assassin. I mean, what do you call it?
Freelancer.
No, the arcade ones where you can't find them.
Oh yeah.
What do you call it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Elusive targets. There you go. So yeah, I guess we'll just piss about with this one for a bit. Can we kill a clown?
Right. In that case, should we go on to my big topic?
Yeah, go on. Can I guess what it is?
Go on then.
Well, given that you mentioned the fact you accidentally guessed the leaking of, let's say leaking,
No.
the paper.
Whatever you're going to say is wrong.
Well, you haven't let me say it. Yeah,
I know it's wrong though.
Well, given that you mentioned how you accidentally guessed that, my assumption would be that you're asking us to guess what the big stories might be next week.
That is one of the topics on my list, but it's not the big topic.
Oh, right, okay. What is it?
It's not the one I wanted to go into.
Oh, right, okay. What is it?
But we could do that if you want.
we'll get to it. What's the big one?
Voyager.
Oh yeah, you finished that.
No, not quite.
All right.
I'm getting there though. I think I've done just over a series since we last watched,
Mm.
spoke together. Because if I recall, the last episode I had watched was the one where it was the green, sorry, the grey goopy folk instead of the real folk.
Yes.
We had to talk about that. And I don't remember talking about the episode afterwards. So,
What was the episode afterwards?
called The Fight, and Chakotay lies in sickbay as he attempts to communicate with aliens through hallucinations. In like
Is that the one where he joins an alien fight club?
like
Is it?
Not really. No. It's a boxing match
All right.
thing, and he's hallucinating a boxing match, and everyone's like, "Oh, you've got to fight! Oh no, you can't fight!" And he's got some sort of genetic predispositions to maybe going a bit bonkers
Yeah.
because his granddad went a bit bonkers.
Okay. Is that what the doctor says?
Okay, so it's that one. It wasn't anything special.
All right. Well, go on then. What were some more interesting episodes you want to talk about?
Think Tank, which was one episode after that, was quite an interesting one. Had Jason Alexander in it.
Oh
Remember
yeah, that's the one where they mentioned they cured the Vidians.
The phage.
The phage, they
Cured that.
cured that, which that was. I mean, why the fuck wasn't that just a bigger the phage a bigger thing in the show? That could have been fun to do something with that, but whatever.
Well, they were quite a long way away from where that was the problem.
Well, yeah, but you could have utilized it a bit more. Is that that's the one where they find a think tank with really smart aliens who like have a business where they go around and solving people's problems or whatever, and
a unique item from their culture.
Yeah, and they I guess Voyager wants to go home, and do they ask for the doctor or something?
No, but what happens is these people, the aliens, stumble across Voyager
Yeah.
as Voyager is being hunted down by a species called the Hazari.
Mm.
And amongst the things that they want 7 of 9.
Ah.
But it is revealed that the think tank put the bounty out on Voyager that the Hazari are chasing it down for in the first place. Cause a problem so you can swoop in and fix a problem. Is the gist of that one.
That did not go quite as well.
It did not. That's fine. But yeah, it wasn't. It just caught my attention. The fact he was in it caught my attention as well because I recognised him. I was like, "Hang on, is that who I think that is?" And it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. One after that was also caught my attention. It's called Juggernauts. The crew responds to a distress call from a Malon. A distress call from Malon escape pods contaminated with radiation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically that Doctor Who episode 42.
Yeah.
In Star Trek. And they go and stop this thing from being a big old problem. And it was very the gist of it is very anti-capitalist in the end.
Honestly, don't remember that one.
Fair enough. You got Someone to Watch Over Me. 7 of 9 explores dating.
Oh god, I hate those ones.
Yeah.
They hook her up with Chakotay. That's so stupid. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Shit.
Fucking Jesus Christ!
I thought you
talk shit about things.
I thought you'd gone to that point. Sorry.
No.
Oh fuck. Sorry.
I already knew anyway. But
All
still,
right.
you've got to be careful what you fucking say.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought because she's dating the doctor, isn't she?
No, he wants to date her, but she thanks him for being such a good friend, and he basically gets friend zoned. And
yeah.
Anyway, 11:59. Janeway reminisces about one of her ancestors, Shannon O'Donnell from Indiana.
Yes, that one.
In which she spends an awful lot of time thinking that her great ancestor helped with space travel and all that kind of shit, and it turns out that basically everything she thought was true was false. But it is the story of how her ancestors joined the Janeway family. So,
yeah.
you know.
That's something.
And it's got, what's his name? I can't remember it. I'll see it. John Carroll Lynch in it.
Who is that? The name rings a bell.
Yeah, you'll know him from all sorts of stuff. He was in.
Oh, is he the guy who played Arthur Lee Allen?
Yes, in Zodiac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Yes,
He's
it
been in all
is.
sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's what you can remember him from.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
You got Relativity, which is another Captain Braxton episode.
Yeah.
He recruits 7 of 9 to stop Voyager being sabotaged, only to discover that it was him sabotaging it from the future.
Oh my god.
So he gets locked up for a crime that future him is going to commit at some point in the past. Which seems a bit unfair, really. It gives him reason to do it in the first place. Warhead, the crew rescues a device with artificial intelligence. It proceeds to take control of the Doctor and reveals itself to be a weapon of mass destruction.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And the resolution to that is convince it that actually the war that it was trying to take part in is over. And it blows up, taking out all of its fellow missiles with it. It suicide bombs its own side, basically.
Right.
Which is not an ideal, climax to a thing. Then we get a 2-parter, Equinox, or as Jomo calls it, Equinox.
What's that one?
That's one where they find another Federation ship under attack from nucleogenic life form, and it turns out that the crew on that ship, of which there are very few people, have been using these life forms to basically get home faster.
Right.
Basically eschewing all of their Starfleet models
Out the window.
Yeah. Because it doesn't matter, does it? They're not in the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah.
They'll get home and then they'll live with the consequences of it. But right now, the key thing is getting home, and so you got that conflict between them and Voyager.
Yeah.
Survival instinct. Freeborg from Seven's past appear and ask to be completely separated. Climax of that one has to either deciding whether they're going to separate and die in like a month, or stay together and survive, or go back to a Borg and survive for even longer but not really be living. Which I thought was it's for quality quantity life, isn't it? That's basically what it is. Barge of the Dead is a B'Elanna story, so you won't care about that.
That's the one where she goes to the Klingon afterlife.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, not a big fan of B'Elanna stuff.
No, I don't understand what the problem is, but fair enough. Tinker Tenor Doctor Spy.
That's a great one. Pick a ice cream. I spelled banana wrong. B-A-N-A-N-A. Oh no, I haven't.
Honestly, can you not fucking spell banana?
B-A-Nana. B-A-N-A-N-A.
Anyway,
it's D.
Tinker Tenor Doctor Spy. What can you remember about that one?
That's one of... Oh, fuck, go.
Hey, you can't be here. This whole shit.
That's the one where I think there's another ship, and they sort of beam the Doctor over, and Andy Dick's in it.
No.
No?
No, we covered that one.
Oh right, okay. It's the one where the Doctor has to play as the captain.
Yes.
Yes.
Because he's been daydreaming. Aliens tap into his...
Yes!
And they've been watching his daydreams where he's in charge and...
I love that episode. I can't remember much about it, but oh, for fuck's sake, who spotted me now?
It's a ridiculously silly episode. But it is entertaining.
Yeah.
Next one is Alice. Tom Paris becomes obsessed with an alien shuttlecraft which appears to have a mind of its own.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
It's basically a ghost ship style thing.
Mm.
And it's haunted is the argument, and it ends up getting crushed. It tries to kill Bellana, so
Yeah.
no doubt you'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
I think she directed the next one, actually. Is that?
Oh, Roseanne Dawes or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Roxanne Dawson.
Yeah.
She directed Riddles. Returning from a diplomatic mission, Tuvok is attacked by a cloaked intruder and suffers neurological damage. And he gets looked after by Neelix quite heavily in the episode. They become very close to one another
Lovely.
for the duration, and then Tuvok has to go back to the normal.
Mm.
There's a riddle in that.
Was there?
Would you like to? Yeah. Would you like to hear the riddle?
Sure thing.
Where is it? Let me find. No doubt it'll be on Memory Alpha. Is it in the memorable quotes? No. Oh, Bellana doesn't appear in this episode
Hey.
at all. It's the only episode of season 6 that she doesn't appear.
I just don't think she's a very interesting character when we have Worf already. So do something fucking different. You know?
Yeah, I know. Okay, so an ensign is stranded on a Class L planet with no resources or rations or anything other than a calendar.
Yeah.
However, when he is collected a year later, he's still alive and in good health. Ow.
Because it's not a year on the planet he's on, it's a year for the other people.
Nope. But that would be a valid answer. That's not the answer they went with. Remember, this is a riddle being told by Neelix.
Did he fill in the calendar?
Nope.
What was it?
1 sec. The ensign survives by eating the dates from the calendar.
I like Neelix. I don't care. I like Neelix.
I like Neelix as well. He's alright. And I feel like he probably gets more flack than he deserves. There is also a second answer that Tuvok presents at the end.
Yeah.
The ensign could also survive by eating the Sundays.
Oh.
Amused, Neelix notes that while the answer is clever, it isn't really very logical. Tuvok, who seems a bit surprised at himself, agrees with a very slight smile.
I like Tuvok.
I like Tuvok. We've met him.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Go on, say.
Soft his hands.
Yeah, there we go. Right, let's kill some minimum wage workers. Werawat. Only one name, he's a mononym.
Dragon's Teeth. Voyager discovers a network of subspace passageways, but is forced to land on a planet after being attacked. They find on that planet a bunch of aliens that were basically frozen in time for 500 odd years or whatever. And it turns out, but they end up helping these aliens, only to find out that they were the aggressors in the war that led to them being, the bad guys. They helped the bad guys by mistake.
Yeah, it's like that TNG episode I talked about, where they wipe. It's called Conundrum. That's great.
One Small Step, directed by Robert Picardo. Voyager is nearly hit by a mysterious subspace mass, and the crew theorize that the debris of an ancient Earth-Mars ship is inside. The Voyager conspiracy. After assimilating Voyager's data from the past 6 years through an enhancement to a Borg implant, 7 of 9 suspect the ship did not arrive from the Delta Quadrant by accident.
Hmm.
He basically points their fingers at everyone in this one.
Huh.
And then we get to a proper TNG episode.
Yeah.
Pathfinder.
Which one's?
Barclay gets over-involved with holographic recreations of Voyager crew and attempts to
Yes.
contact them. This
Fucking-
episode also features Deanna Troy.
Yay! Yes, I like the little Barclay stuff in Voyager, where I mentioned
Spoilers,
before.
because I've only seen this one with him in.
Well, I mentioned before how it would be nice to see, what's going on at home.
Mm.
And we do sort of get that.
Yeah.
Where Voyager has become like this big thing back home, and I do sort of wish they lent into that more. Like, I want to know what like the Romulans think of this, and maybe they're suspicious that it's some sort of Federation plot. What are the people back home thinking? How are the families coping? All this stuff,
Yeah.
So many missed opportunities with that show.
They this is the first time where they get direct communication with
Yeah,
Starfleet Command.
yeah. Kate Mulgrew's
Because Starfleet
performance
managers.
is great in that.
What's that say?
Kate Mulgrew's performance is great in that,
Mm,
where she sort
absolutely.
of tears up a little bit almost, has to compose herself.
Well, it's been 6 years.
And
Yeah.
it's a long old while.
We get Fairhaven after that.
Oh god.
Which I mentioned to you briefly because I recognised almost immediately, like less than a minute, and I was like, "Hang on a minute, that was a French village."
Yeah.
And I double checked; it absolutely is. Yeah, but they create a holographic representation of an Irish village town thing, whilst they're battening down the hatches for a storm.
Yeah.
And they spend some time hanging out in there. Janeway falls in love,
Well,
deletes the man's wife.
delete the wife.
Yeah, like I knew that was coming up.
Have
because of the context of the scene. I knew it was coming.
you seen the memes?
No,
The references to it.
no. I went into that blind, but I knew I could read that was what was going to happen. So she's a bit of a bitch though, isn't she, for changing him as much as she did, considering she fell for him anyway before she made the changes.
He's not real though. He don't count.
It does. It's not good though. Although I do like the fact that they discussed the ethics of her having a relationship with one of the crew, and how it would be inappropriate for her to be in that position.
Mm.
And because it would be, it absolutely would be.
Well, yeah.
And they discuss it. Careful, because you've not got the silence gun in your hand,
Okay.
which I figured you would have wanted.
Yeah.
After that, you got Blink of an Eye.
Yeah.
This is where it's actually there's a episode of Orville that does the same thing as this. You have a planet where time travels faster on it than it does outside of it.
Yeah.
So they end up sending the Doctor down
Mm.
to spend some time there. But yeah, there's an Orville episode where basically the same thing happens.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a good episode. To be fair.
Mm.
Virtuoso, visiting aliens who have never encountered music before, become fascinated with the Doctor's opera singing, ask him to leave Voyager and join their society.
Oh, God bless the Doctor episodes.
Yeah, I feel bad for him at the end of this one. I mean, he was a bit of an arsehole throughout it.
We gone to the one where he's written the book.
Spoilers!
Sorry.
No!
Okay.
I'm literally going through the things. And
All right. Okay. Go on.
Memorial. Chakotay, Tom Paris, Harry Kim, and Neelix begin to experience horrific flashbacks
Yeah.
after an away mission. And it turns out that what they've done is they've inadvertently ended up going too close to a memorial thing that makes you relive
Oh, yeah.
the for the massacre that it's a memorial for.
That
As an
mate,
attempt
yeah,
to make sure that
it never happens again. Yeah, that's not a bad
Yeah.
episode. Again, that could so easily be a TNG episode. You know, so easily.
yeah, but it wasn't.
What?
Yeah, but it wasn't.
I know, but my point is,
But it wasn't though.
I know, but that's not my point.
Well, you just it's a Star Trek episode.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I
No,
think,
but really.
but
really.
Voyager has no. It sort of lacks a sense of character in and of itself as a show. I feel. You know.
Well, I feel like it's perfectly fine as it is.
Yeah.
It does the job.
It's so frustrating, that show. So frustrating. What's the
The
next
next
one?
episode I watched, Sunkatsy.
What?
I think we've got a bit of lag. Yeah, we've definitely got some.
Okay. I'll count to 5 and let me know when you hear me start counting. 1, 2, 3.
Ah,
Okay, I got to 3.
yeah, I heard you count to 3.
Okay.
Okay. Just give it a minute. All will settle.
Yeah.
Sunkatsy was the next episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
What?
7 of 9 and 2 are kidnapped, 1 on shore leave. 7 is forced to fight in a gladiatorial contest to the death with Jeffrey Combs and Dwayne The Rock Johnson
Oh yeah.
both starring. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Dwayne come up and I was like, how recognizable is he going to be? Turns out quite.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd seen Jeffrey Combs before because I watched all of DS9. So, like, I recognized him. Even under all the alienization.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, the next episode is another Chakotay, Kim, Paris, and Neelix episode.
Ah. What?
They get taken hostage by Borg children.
Oh, is that the one with? Is it Ichabod?
Ikub or Ikub.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ikub.
Hmm.
That's one of them anyway.
Yeah, he follows us on Twitter.
Really?
I don't know whether he still does, but yeah, he did.
Wow. Bit weird.
Yeah. I think it's because
Yeah, so nothing overly special about that one, but it does give
I think it's
7
'cause-
of 9 something else to do, I suppose, looking after the kids afterwards.
I think it's because I reviewed Voyager. Oh, right. Okay, most of these people are out in public.
Also watched Spirit Folk.
Yeah.
It's another
Oh,
Fairhaven
fuck
one.
off. Yeah, I remember this one now. It's where they think they're spirit folk and they figure out that they're not real.
They get told they're not real,
Yeah.
I think. It's the gist of it.
Yeah.
Because it was necessary as part of a sorting shit out. But I mean, I don't mind Fairhaven as a place.
Ah.
I thought it looked alright. We've got Ashes to Ashes, in which you have a deceased crew member resurface after having been resurrected by an alien race.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Kim still can't catch a break.
Why can't I dump this body?
It's a target. It's one of your targets, and you need to kill them. I
Oh
think
shit, it is, yeah. Huh.
Make it so you can't kill them.
Yeah, alright. I didn't even notice.
It was literally saying unconscious target.
Yeah, I didn't read it.
Honestly, Need to pay attention, mate.
So happened I didn't read it.
I remember last two that I watched. You have Child's Play.
Yeah.
The family of Icab, one of the ball children is found.
Oh yeah.
He and 7 other reluctant. It turns out that his parents sent him off to get assimilated in the first place.
Yeah.
Which is a bit rough.
Bit of a bugger, innit?
Yeah. There was Mark Shepherd was in that episode. Can you think of anyone that Mark Shepherd has played?
No.
He was a Secret Service agent in. Well, I don't know if you saw it in the Silence episodes of Doctor Who.
Oh yeah. The one who's gay.
Yeah, amongst other. Yeah. It's revealed late in the thing that he's gay.
Yes, you think he just wants to marry a black woman, and Nixon's like, "Well, I suppose we could make an exception." And then he's like, "Yes, he'll be so happy," and Nixon's like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah."
Yeah. So So yeah, that he was also played a few roles in. He was in Firefly as someone called Badger. And he was in. He's in Supernatural quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Good Shepherd.
Oh, that's one of my
3 crew
favorites.
members. 3 crew members who are underperforming are taken on a mission by Janeway.
Yeah, I like that one.
We get to see Deck 15.
Yes, where those three sort of outcasts are. And one of them,
only one of them works there.
well, one of them's working on like a maths puzzle or something.
Yeah, it's
like a
trying to
really
disprove
Yeah.
multiple Big Bangs.
Yeah. And one of them really lacks confidence.
And the other one's a hypochondriac.
Yeah, and Janeway sort of takes them under her wing. And there's no
And one of
way.
them kills himself.
Do they?
Yeah, to save the crew, he sacrifices himself.
Yeah, I do like that episode. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Well, how much?
He's already dead.
I know he's dead. Okay, right.
Apparently, you've eliminated him according to that.
Okay, that's the one. Right. Okay. Yeah, I did. I shot him in the head. I was just a little confuddled.
Yeah. Yeah, we see Deck 15, which is like the most wonderful place to work in all of Voyager.
Why?
Genuinely, I think it's probably one of the best places because you're out the way.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, realistically, people probably won't notice if you weren't there.
Yeah.
There's this wonderful sequence at the start where a series of instructions are passed down
Yeah.
the ship. It comes from Janeway to engineering to it's from Janeway to 7 to engineering to Deck 15, and we follow the instructions, and it's such a nice little sequence.
Mm. Yeah, that is one of my favourite episodes.
Because we fly in through one of the top windows in her ready room,
Yeah.
and then we fly out through the window at what's his face in Deck 15's the window he's got, and it's just like we've just gone through the whole ship basically. Just one of them things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good episode.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes of season 6, and then the 26 episodes of 7.
Yeah.
I think that's a double episode there. I mean, I'll be done.
Lovely.
And considering I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus I've done 28 since we last recorded. So it's possible the next time we talk, I'll have finished. Possibly, anyway. So yeah.
Is there somewhere to dump this guy? There should be. Yeah, there is. Right.
There's always somewhere to dump a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Voyager done. That's my topic, guys. I'm enjoying it still.
Yeah.
You're not going to talk me out of the fact that I'm
Nah, it's fine. You can enjoy it. I love talking about it with you. It's nice talking Star Trek with a friend. Speaking of content on the TV screens and whatnot,
What documentary did you watch?
no, it's about Snow White.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's fucking bombing apparently.
Yeah, how much of that is anti-Semitism? Not anti-Semitism, but just people not liking Gal Gadot.
I think it's a multitude of reasons. One of them is,
Well,
as you say, one of them is the fact that people don't like Gal Gadot, right?
yes.
For a variety of reasons. She's not a very good actress, but she keeps getting work. She's pro-Israel. It's pretty memeable to hate her.
Yeah.
I think one of them is the fact that Snow White is played by a woman of color.
Yes, that's yeah.
One of them, there's another fact is that it's a Disney remake. People are fucking tired of Disney remakes.
It's another one. The fact that, from an objective point of view, the witch is more attractive a woman than Snow White.
I don't
Thus,
know.
the whole jealousy thing is completely unfounded.
Shit. It was going so fucking well, man. So fucking well.
Yeah, I don't think it's an uncommon belief that Gal Gadot is more attractive, physically attractive than, is it Rachel Zegel? Is it?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sure I've seen all sorts of people saying that,
Yeah.
and I don't disagree. In fairness,
Security breach? Don't worry, the pros are here. Nothing in the bathrooms. Over and out.
but like I say, the whole story of Snow White is Queen gets jealous of everyone being more beautiful, and like it sort of doesn't make much sense in the context of the characters or the actresses that are in place. You have to suspend some disbelief.
And there's also a good chance it's just not a very good film.
Oh, also possible.
You know? Oh, fuck off, man. A lady's being sick in here. Yeah,
He's
by this
occupied, mate.
lady.
Could you punch him out and then not, and then sort of out? Oh, sorry. I hoped it would.
Nah.
didn't-
I figured it wouldn't, but I didn't really have another option, really, did I?
No, I suppose not.
Oh, hang on. Let's see, sorted. Right. And then there was one.
That's Silvio Berlusconi, did it say? Oh no, Sylvia. Although to be fair, she looks like the sort that would have been have taken part in one of his bunga bunga parties. Do you remember them when that was a thing?
Yeah, bunga bunga parties.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I'd started playing Atomfall last time we recorded.
Oh?
It's one of these new games that I picked up. It's one I pre-ordered. I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to playing it. It's a sort of post-nuclear incident set in Cumbria game.
Oh, yeah, no, you did mention it.
Yeah, I don't think I started playing it though.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because I could only start downloading it whilst we were Thursday night last week.
Yeah.
And we were recording, so I think it's anyway. I started, as you may have guessed, from the context of this conversation, and there's a few references that I spotted.
Yeah.
There is a green car with an armchair atop it and a skeleton in the armchair.
Mr. Bean.
Yep, referencing Mr. Bean driving the car from on top of a car.
Yeah.
There's a few they've got some like really distinctive looking and very true to what I recall of them, red phone boxes.
Yeah.
You know, the iconic red phone box look.
Yeah.
Well, they've got some of them.
For fuck's sake, just let me kill a woman. Thank you.
Okay. And I saw a blue one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that what I think that is a reference to?
Doctor Who reference, yeah.
I climbed up to it, and as I was about to get to a point where I could actually probably see it, I started hearing the TARDIS noise.
And it
It
disappeared.
disappeared, and all that was left was a hat.
What sort of hat? Fez.
I think a Tom Baker hat.
Uh, how was that 1 star? Fuck you.
Well, that bit where everyone fucking saw you.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's a Last of a Summer Wine reference with 2 skeletons in a bathtub.
Yeah, there's
On a hill.
There's a famous scene where they push a bathtub down a hill and ride in it.
Yeah, so I've not seen that particular
Yeah.
thing, but apparently that's what that's a reference to.
Yeah,
So.
the gist of that is that it's old men experiencing like a second childhood because they're bored as fuck.
Well, you know. But yeah, all in all, it's an interesting game.
Yeah.
They've got the accents down,
Yeah.
and visually, it's pretty fucking neat.
Yeah.
Like I would believe that it is a Northern England. To be honest with you, the village that you go to feels like a village.
Yeah.
The people that act there, the people that live there, feel like villagers that would live in that village.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
you know. A bit difficult. I had to turn the settings down to have a bit more fun, but I'm willing to accept that. It's very sneak dependent if you're in the harder difficulty settings, and I'm not good at stealth in games. I'm just not. That section that I did for stealth in the Wolfenstein earlier.
Yeah.
Exception to the rule.
Okay.
Simple as that. I don't do well at it.
This looks doable.
Yeah, you can do it.
So let's do this one and then we'll call it for the night.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's start my last topic then.
Yeah, sure thing.
What do you think is going to come up in the next week in the news? Just any old news predictions that you've got.
I think
Can I tell you one of mine?
yeah, go on.
I think there's going to be a partial tariff U-turn.
Yeah, that's not an unreasonable guess, I don't think. There's only that.
I'm going to write these down because next week
we'll see
we
how
can
right we
reflect
are.
on these.
Okay.
Exactly, and we can do this every week. Aren't I clever coming up with something like this? Thank you, whoever left out those sensitive documents. That made it easy for me to come up with
you've
this.
inspired us. I think that the Pope will die.
Okay,
That's
in the
big.
next week.
Yeah.
Pope death. Okay.
What else do I think will happen? What's big in the
I
news right now?
suspect we're going to find out that Charles has got to have more cancer treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had this thing where he had to go into hospital and cancel some engagements, and apparently it was just routine post-cancer treatment stuff.
Yeah.
But I suspect that might be. He might have to have another round of whatever treatment it was.
Some sort of chemo, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So King, more treatment. All right, down. Write them down because then we could probably.
Yeah.
That poor bastard. Every time you play this,
that's what he's there for. It's like because nobody else ever comes through here, and it's your access to the next bit of the map.
Still, I do feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Go on. Any more predictions?
I think. Gosh, I don't know, man. I don't follow the news as much as I used to. Hey, how you doing? I think that Elon Musk will do something fucked up with Tesla. I don't know what, but it'll do something to try and get it back on track.
Okay. Musk, Tesla, ploy. Shall I put it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'll summarise basically the gist of it.
What else happened in the news this week? I think we'll have a big celebrity death. Not a massive celebrity death, but the death of somebody we both know of.
Mid-celeb death.
Yeah.
Okay. I suspect that there will be. What would be an interest? Notice none of our things are good news.
No.
I suppose the partial tariff veto would be positive news, but it's beyond that point now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where good news is. I actually so much was this a concern of mine that I bailed on my my very small
Investments.
investment
Yeah.
pot ahead of it all going to shit even further, because I figured that was the most sensible thing for me to do in the circumstances. It'll be fine. Wait till things get back on track a bit. It's just too volatile at the moment.
Yeah.
I suspect there'll be a heartwarming story about someone who they weren't expecting to find alive after this earthquake was happened.
Yeah, it's
and they've managed to find them.
not a bad bet. Fuck. What else? What else? What else? What else?
I don't honestly know.
It's difficult.
It is. Because you're trying to predict the future effectively.
I think that
Love it? No, love it? Oh, it's perfect. Okay, now if you could oh, yes, you read my mind, Talmud. Okay.
gosh. I don't know. Do you have any more? Hello?
No,
Oh.
nothing else is coming to mind.
We'll get a casting announcement for the next James Bond.
I did answer you. We've got some lag again.
Yeah, I think we'll get a casting announcement for the next James Bond.
We'll get what?
A casting announcement for the next James Bond.
Oh, you. Okay, I think you're overly optimistic there,
All right.
personally.
Yeah, probably.
But hey, it's your estimate,
Hmm.
your guess.
Dahlia?
Um,
Not yet. I go on in a few
I think we might get.
I think I'm in, but I want to be clear on a
Um,
few details. Fine. I'll be up after the show. Yes, Joe.
oh, what could we get?
Hope you know what you're getting,
Um,
Elwood.
hmm.
Yeah, Dan, it's me. Oh, you're watching the. Hate to be impolite, but could you maybe not be here right now?
You're in a spot of bother.
A little.
Command is dropping the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not easy, is it?
No. No, it's not. Especially for someone who doesn't follow the news, so I don't really know what's going on. You know?
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Maybe we should go for something really super specific.
Oh, okay. What, like what?
Dick Van Dyke will die.
You think Dick Van Dyke is going to die?
Yeah.
All right, let me write that down. Dick Van Dyke death.
I mean, I hope he doesn't, because I love
Oh,
Dick.
that's you on 5.
Okay.
So I don't think you're obligated to do any more.
Okay.
Um,
Doing routine checks here, sir. You'll need to frisk any plan to walk through here.
um,
Security precaution. All right. Thank you.
oh, what could happen? A major player in Trump's administration is going to get fired.
Okay.
I don't know who. Someone.
Get back to work.
And there'll be traffic on the M25. Hmm.
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, so that's her drink. Cool.
There'll be another plane crash.
Well, there's a plane crash like every day.
I mean, at the moment, there's quite a lot of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with. Plane crash. A bit morbid. There's not an awful lot of good news in any of our bits.
Hmm.
Will you be my server tonight? No harm in meeting, I suppose, but
I hope he's going to do something.
Well, because you don't want him to just stay stood there.
Someone threw up in the men's bathroom. Go clean it.
Yeah, but go clean it.
No.
Well,
Okay. All I gotta do is get up there with my guns.
I think you can do that.
Well, it looks like I just have.
Very good then.
Right.
Move it, folks, move it. Clear out of here. It's for your own good.
Oh shit. Okay.
What's happened? Should I be worried? I think it's best if you vacate the premises and take him out the civilian. Take him out.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
do it the old-fashioned way.
Old faithful.
What time is it?
Well, right now it's 10 past 10.
Cool. Well, hey ho.
That's unlucky.
That's all right. Well,
We
thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yes. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.